What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about the Chicago Bulls and their comeback against the Sacramento Kings. Now, at the end of the day, the Bulls were down by 20 plus points in this game and managed to fight their way back in the fourth quarter by some miraculous shots, but also managed to get the stops, the right stops that we needed at the right times to win this game. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Bulls are better than the Kings. I think I say this every time we win a game at this point. But what I will tell you is, what a comeback that was. What a fun game that was. What an enjoyable game that was. Much more entertaining than the Milwaukee Bucks game previously. And I'm happy with the result as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we get any further though, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Bulls game today, your player of the game, and everything in between. We won this game 113 to 109, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you there wasn't massive problems with our performance today. There was. But before I get into any problems, I have to talk about some of the really impressive performances we have seen from some of our starters today. I mean, I really can't put it down to anything else but that. I think our starters' performance, granted they played the bulk of the minutes, is the reason why we won the game today. Kobe White didn't score pretty much anything in the first quarter, but ended the game on a career-high 37 points on the night. That is fantastic stuff from Kobe White, and I'm happy to say that he's built himself out of the struggle that he began the post-All-Star break stretch with. That was the best way to get yourself out of a slump, to have your career high performance, really good layups, really good threes, just really consistent, and back to his confidence best. You can tell with Kobe White, when he's confident, there's a bit of a different vibe about him. The way that he dribbles, it's just a little bit more emphasis in the way that he dribbles. The way that he gets to the rim, there's a little bit more flair to it. The way that he passes, there's a little bit more of a oomph in the pass, if you know what I mean. It just seems like everything gets done with a little bit more deliberate and meaningfulness when Kobe White is playing confidently, and that's exactly what you saw today. I mean, 37 points, where did that come from? I mean, he erupted after the first quarter. He just went absolutely berserk, and he carried us over the line today. He made some clutch free throws towards the end of the game as well. He was superb. Speaking of superb, DeMar DeRozan was very close to a similar performance in his own right. And you want to know the fun fact about DeMar DeRozan? He just erupted in one quarter. It didn't take him 3 quarters to get to where he was now. Pretty much up until the third quarter, he didn't even get a bucket. I'm pretty sure at halftime he was 0 from 1 from the field, or 1 from 1 from the field maybe. And the bulk of his points came from the free throw line. In the fourth quarter, he just went crazy. I don't know. He turned back the clock to his MVP, close to MVP caliber season. I wouldn't say he wasn't the MVP. But back when he was, the first season for the Bulls or the second season for the Bulls, he was considered an MVP candidate, if you know what I mean. And he turned back the clock to those moments because he just did not miss in the fourth quarter, it felt like. The only mistake I really remember him making was the turnover trying to pass it to Vucevic. So one mistake in the fourth quarter and a terrific fourth quarter for him that led to the Bulls' victory as well. Obviously, we cannot forget on the other side of things, we were able to get Domantas Sabonis out of the game. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that was a key thing to the Bulls' victory as well. And we can't even ignore the fact that Ayo had 20 points in this game. Normally, you're looking at the performances and you see Ayo with 20 points in the game. You think that's an incredible game for Ayo. But it was a tad bit overshadowed over what Kobe White did today, what DeMar DeRozan did today. 2 incredible performances, and they were well-needed performances. We needed guys to get to 30-plus points in this game to win this game because there was just so much struggle everywhere else in the game that it was pretty much impossible to ignore. Now, again, I've mentioned the positives. I've mentioned how happy I am. It is time now to turn to the negatives. We cannot ignore the negatives of this game. First and foremost, I want to quickly calculate the bench points that both teams had, because this was a problem for the Chicago Bulls. So, Julian Phillips had 6 points, but Tim had 1 point, so that's 7, and then Andre Drummond had 4 points, so that's 11. 7-11. 11 points off of the bench. You might think that's not that terrible. Let's take a look at Sacramento's points off the bench. This is where things really got downhill for the Bulls. So, we've got Malik Monk with 11. Davion Mitchell with 6, so that's 17 points off the bench already. Trey Lyles with 9, so that's 26 points off of the bench. Plus 4, that's 30 points off of the bench for Alex Len had 4 points. And then we had Duarte with 8. So I believe that's 38? 38 points off of the bench, 38 to 11. A massive difference. A massive, massive difference. And look, I like Batim. I know he struggled today, but I do like Batim and what he can bring to the table. Julian Phillips had a fantastic second half performance. Basically got all his points in the second half. But you look at the discrepancy there, it's abysmal. It is truly abysmal. We know the Bulls are a very starter-heavy team. We play pretty much all of our starters are close to leading the league in minutes. It's really as simple as that. I still think Kobe White does lead the league in minutes. But it's quite embarrassing to know that our starters won this game for us, and our bench really didn't have anything to do with it. I know Drummond did some good things defensively, and I'm not saying he's not responsible in helping us getting the win, but our bench scoring was an absolute disaster. We cannot ignore that. And when you look at how Sacramento's bench played, they played some elite basketball. Again, we were down by 20 plus points in this game, and a big reason why was the bench points. Let's move over to the second thing, rebounding. We got destroyed on the glass today. And look, a lot of people will say, why didn't we play Vucevic and Drummond? I'll tell you why. Because Sacramento is not the type of team you should be doing that against. I did not want to see Vucevic go guard Trey Lyles or go guard Harrison Barnes. These forwards that are mobile, quick, and have the skill to shoot from the perimeter, but also take it to the rim. I didn't want Vucevic doing that. And even though we were terrible in the pick and roll today as well, we were horrible when it comes to, I guess, playing that type of defense. We let the roll man pretty much get anything they wanted from the game today. De'Aaron Fox made some very fantastic passes. We just couldn't play that lineup. And because of that, we got destroyed on the glass. The offensive rebounding in the fourth quarter drove me insane. I still can't believe we won this game based on that alone. How many offensive rebounds we gave away to the Sacramento Kings. But that is something we need to address. That is not good enough. Sacramento are not exactly a big team out there. Sabonis is a great rebounder. But other than that, we should have had a much better competition on the glass. I mean, we have Vucevic and Andre Drummond. Both of them are capable of grabbing 10 rebounds with ease. How did we not get anywhere near them on the rebounding side of things? And offensive rebounding was an absolute joke in this game. And again, there's a good chance that when you give a team more shots than your team, that they will win the game, especially at the NBA level. It's a basic concept of basketball that we almost fell into today. But for whatever reason, all the problems you can throw, the Bulls still won the game. And it looks like Sacramento over the last couple of games have had a history of this. I don't think this is the first time in recent memory or in recent couple of games that Sacramento blew a 20-point lead. They've done it again today. So this seems to be a habit for them. But when we're talking about, I guess, our defense and our offensive rebounding and how we couldn't get a stop, this is where we got Domantas Sabonis getting fouled out. That was a huge play for the Chicago Bulls. So huge, in fact, I'm going to put it out there and say, if we did not foul out Domantas Sabonis in this game, we do not win this game. That's how big of an influence Sabonis was making in the second half. I will give you everything that you need to know. The first half, he struggled so badly. He only had 2 points in the first half, I believe. You move into the second half, and he made the biggest impact. The amount of dunks, offensive rebounds, free throws, playmaking, he was doing really well. He just did everything in the second half. But he couldn't stay out of foul trouble. He got fouled out in meaningful minutes, and I can't tell you how much that helped the Bulls. I'd much rather have Trey Lyles at the center position than Sabonis. It worked out in our favor there. And because of that, we were able to get the last couple of rebounds on the offensive side of things for the Bulls. So I'm very happy with the win. It's a comeback complete. Does it mean our season has turned around? Absolutely not. Again, it's going to be very hard to climb out of the 9th seed and travel to the 8th and 7th seed. We're going to have to go on a massive winning streak that I just don't think we're going to be able to do. But if you want a perfect way to start a West Coast trip, you're looking at it right here. A comeback win against a fantastic team that's playing some really good basketball. And we've seen De'Aaron Fox break our hearts before, many, many times over the last couple of seasons. Today was not one of those days, and we walk away with a win. I would call this a win that we stole away from the Kings. We stole this win out of their grasps. And now we have 3 more games out in the West Coast trip where the momentum can hopefully carry over. My player of the game is Kobe White. career high. I think that's fair. Shout out to DeRozan. What do you think? Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.